Now we're gonna go into
the marvelous
Carlos Vasquez.
Vasquez.
And I just picture him going like, and then like the tingling eyes and the charisma ding in the teeth.
So he's competing with Alexander Armstrong now. They're both going to do. Alexander's flexing, Carlos is blowing fire.
Yeah. I love how we all assume he has this accent. Either like a very deep Italian or Carlos. So it's like very.
Well, hold on. So he's got a couple abilities.
Oh God. And he's a showgirl too.
Yes. Okay, so there's one of his abilities, the flames. I am their master. And then his attack is called the flaming fist of the great Carlos Vasquez.
Yeah. Weird. I love your writers. This is really good stuff. I love it.
Yeah. So back to his actual card.
Carlos Vasquez. He's a 9 Soulstone model.
Yep.
He's a henchman. He's living in Rare 1, so there is only one Carlos. He's a showgirl. He's a defense 6, willpower 5, 9 wounds, walk of 5, charge of 7, and height of 2.
Decently mobile. He keeps up with all the showgirls.
Yeah, he's pretty. So he has a defense and willpower trigger with a tome, not built in.
Smoldering.
After this model succeeds, the attacking model gains burning 1 condition.
Yeah, smoldering heart.
It has dance and flame. This model has the following condition at the same value as its burning condition, up to a maximum of 2. Armor 1. So if he has burning 2,
and he has ways to give himself burning.
So very.
And he has we'll have to check out his upgrade. It's very important.
Oh, does it?
It prevents him from hurting himself via burning.
I assumed it was something like that.
Yeah.
The flames. I am their master. After this model completes a walk action, it may target a pyre marker within 6 and place it within 6 of its current location. If it's placed in base contact with or overlapping any models, they may take a target number 13 walk duel. If they succeed, they may push up to 3 and do not suffer hazardous terrain. Oh, so you can.
So pyre markers, which one of his abilities summons, they are hazardous and so now you can push them around, including shoving them in your face.
Does he get to push them, or if they succeed, they may push up to 3?
Okay, so he pushes the pyre marker.
Yeah.
And then the model that's potentially affected gets to push out of it.
So you can. Oh my God.
So they do get to choose if they succeed.
So yeah, if you have stash markers, you can put the pyre marker and push models away.
But
then your opponent can push them so they're within range of it and stuff like that.
Right, but you're going to target somebody that's already in range and then push the marker onto them to either hurt them or potentially push them away.
Or let's say they're you're on the informant marker, and you're just at 6 inches away because you're afraid of, then you put that pyre marker right in front and then push them 3 inches.
Right. They have to either push outside or
they
further in.
Or they eat the damage from the pyre marker.
Well, if they succeed, they don't take the damage at all. But they get a free push. They're either going to push outside or they're pushing further in, and both of which puts them ideally in a bad position. Yeah, and so he can generate pyre markers, but the most important is that Kairis is making lots of markers.
Oh, does she make pyre markers?
So he could use her. Yeah.
Oh.
So he could move her pyre markers.
Oh, okay.
So if she already has them in place, he can move them.
He also has the dance intensifies. After flipping for initiative, this model gains break 1 condition.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and is it may or just does?
Gains.
Okay, so he just automatically gains burning every turn.
So you're probably going to take us a personal upgrade.
Which again will synergize with Kairis. She likes her friendly models to be burning for her upgrades. Boom.
Man.
He lights himself on fire.
So now, the flaming fist of great Carlos Vasquez. I just love saying that. Melee 6, resist defense, range 3. Wow.
Yeah.
Range 3. Target suffers 2, 3, 4 damage. Wow, and he has the built-in tome, so he can always declare all these triggers.
Yeah.
So stoke the flames. After succeeding, the target gains an additional burning 1 condition for each tome in the final duel.
So he can always give 1.
In theory, up to 3. Up to 3 burning.
If he spends a soul stone, then 1 for the card and 1 for a soul stone. Wow. Up to 3 burning. So
the audience was told to stand back. After damaging the target, suffers amount of damage equal to the value of this model's burning condition to a maximum of 3. And then you end the burning condition on the model.
So, and is it this model? I think it's Carlos's burning.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
Carlos
he
is
does
burning.
extra damage based on his burning level to the target.
And then Kyrie's can just be like, okay, here's some more burning onto you. Wow.
Or the fire starter, he has ways to really crank up the burning.
And then true showmanship. After damaging this model, gains a burning 1 condition. So you can, oh my god.
Yeah, so he can light himself on fire more, and then punch you really hard.
But you can only do this once. It's not per tome.
Oh yes, that is a
true
flat
showmanship.
1 burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then tactical actions. Do not try this at home.
It's a 0.
It's a 0. I love it. All right. It's a 6 of tomes. You need a 12 in a tome, so the tomes is built in, and place a 50mm pyre marker within range at least 1 inch from any models or other markers. This marker is a height 5 blocking hazard stain. At the end of every turn, remove all pyre markers. So you can only.
So you only have the pyre markers that are summoned on that turn, that are placed this turn.
Is there any way to make him do more 0 actions?
Oh
no, you only get 1 0.
There,
you only get 1 0.
You normally only get 1 0.
Yeah, so you can only.
So what's his other 0?
Okay, 0. And now the most deadly dance of them of all. Casting 6, target number 11. You have a built-in tome, and you need a tome to make this happen. Push this model up to 4 in any direction, and give it burning 1 condition.
Mm-hmm.
Extinguish after succeeding in the burning condition on this model.
So extinguish is there for him to put himself out if he has no other way to stop the burning from hurting him.
So now we'll go into his personal upgrade.
Yeah, should be just past that.
Is it just past that?
Yeah, he should be I guess
Nope.
one more.
Yeah.
More Sandeep.
Carlos.
Stunt double.
Oh, stunt double. If this crew contains Colette, reduce the cost of the upgrade to 0.
Oh, I missed that the first time I read that. So it costs 0 in a Colette crew.
Okay, stunt double. When this model would suffer damage due to the burning, it may discard a card. If it does not suffer damage from burning condition and heals an amount of damage equal to the value of burning condition instead.
Yep.
And pyrotechnic prop, which is a tactical action. Casting 5. Target number 12, range 8. Target a ski marker. All models within 3 of this target must pass a target number 13 willpower duel or gain the burning 2 condition. Then discard the target marker.
So he discards a scheme marker for a burst of potential flame.
So Carlos Vasquez,
including him, is it enemies or friendlies can be affected by the pyrotechnic prop?
Let's check. Pyrotechnic prop. Target scheme
all
marker.
models.
All models. So you can.
So if he targets a scheme marker near him, he can light himself on fire by.
Oh my god.
By cheating to fail.
That's pretty good, actually.
Now, right, and so then all he has to do is discard a single card, whatever it is, to heal instead of take damage from burning. It's free with Colette.
Okay, so Carlos Vasquez. So the obvious people that are going to really like him is Colette and Kyrie's.
And so and it's interesting. So both of them, Colette, it's a free upgrade. Kyrie's, you don't need the upgrade. Because she's going to have hers, and as long as Carlos ends within her aura, he's going to gain a benefit from the burning instead of a detriment.
So then, it's really weird. Does Kyrie she creates pyre markers?
Right. So she has a couple ways. I think she has a tactical action that just makes 2 pyre markers, and then she has a trigger that's on one of her upgrades that lets her drop pyre markers when she uses her abilities.
So you can have up to 3 pyre markers, and Carlos can push them around.
Well, he moves 1 at a time, I think.
Moves at one time, okay.
He takes a walk action, and then he's able to move the pyre marker up to 6 inches.
Okay.
So, right. But still, like, Kyrie's drops a pyre marker, and then he throws it in their face.
I'm playing against a gunline crew, okay. I'm going to put 3 pyres, I'm going to walk.
Exactly.
Move 2 of these pyres with my crew.
Exactly.
And then my crew can hide behind these pyre markers. Carlos, I think he's going to be a must. He might be. If I say he's probably a really good choice for Kyrie's. Like he synergizes so well with her burning condition. Yeah. She can also the ability. He could be a pretty good beater for her. Because with the ability to
he's just really interesting. Like Kyrie's always likes somebody who can light other people on fire. Like the fact that he can punch something and light it on fire, and then Kyrie's could finish it off various ways.
Yeah, and then stoke the flame, but
exactly.
An additional model that can add up to 3 burning. And then, so let's say you put 3 burning, and then, alright, now I'm going to do Kyrise's, I know it's not expunge, but something
but yeah,
detonation or premature
she's
detonation.
It's a trigger on her flaming halo, I believe.
She's in Crossroads.
Yeah. And she can basically do the same thing as expunge, but for fire. Removes its condition to immediately deal that much damage.
Yeah, I really do. Carlos is really cool. Not only just because of all the really cool names of all of his abilities and just like that, you can do that really cool. Carlos. I kind of wish he had longer hair so I could do the.
Yeah, it's on her flaming halo. She can use the engulf trigger.
Okay.
After applying burning, so she'll apply an extra 1 burning, suffers damage equal to the burning condition, then removes the burning condition.
Okay.
Well, the other thing is if Carlos hits somebody and gives them even burning 1 and puts them in a range where Kyrie's could finish them off with Immolate. So Immolate's attack action gains positive flip if the target is burning, and she has triggers that if she kills a target with Immolate, they're on her upgrade, she can do things like summon a Fire Gammon.
Oh, okay.
So he could set up that. Of course, honestly, for setting that up, I think the Firestarter's a little better just because he's cheaper. But Carlos can do some crazy things himself.
Yeah, and Carlos, in theory, I think he can probably last a lot longer in melee. With defense 6.
Oh yeah, defense 6 and 7.
And the ability to heal from burn,
8 wounds.
8 wounds, yeah.
So
9 wounds.
Or 9. Oh, there it is, 9.
9 wounds.
Right, and well, right, you could take his upgrade to let him heal.
You're probably not going to throw him against Langston's and...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny that stacking huge amounts of burning are actually potentially useful against armored targets just because the armor applies once to the whole stack of burning. So, it's like he punches Langston, he only does 1 or 2 points of damage, but he stacks up enough burning that with the rest of the crew stacking burning, Langston dies at the end of the turn.
Okay, before we finish, we'll go into Poison Gaming.
But
a young, shirtless man walked confidently out on the stage of the Star Theater, sweat gleaming off the curves of his muscles. Just love that. I love
the start of his fluff.
Yeah, God, it cracks me up.
So he is the first male showgirl. Well, outside of the Nightmare Box.
Oh yeah, the Nightmare Box. But Nightmare Box is second.
But yeah. So he's very cool. I can't wait to see what his full-on render will be like. His final model.
Hilarious. I can already see all the puns and jokes. All right, now we're gonna go into Poison Gaming. So the Poison Gaming, it's cost of 5. It's a Gaming and it's a beast. So Marcus. Yep. Well, I mean, Marcus can already take it.
So it's a minion, a construct, a Gaming, and a beast. So it has lots of synergies there.
Yeah. It has deadly reflexes. All models in 2 suffer 1 damage and gain the poison 1 condition when this model is killed, not sacrificed.
Right. So, like most Gaming, when it dies, something bad happens for your opponent. You've got explosive demise, flaming demise, and now deadly reflexes as it stings everybody in range.
Oh, like a scorpion. Reduce damage suffered by this model.
Yeah.
So armor 1. Leave them to die. At the end of this model's activation, if it took an attack action or an attack during at the end of this model's activation, if it took an attack during the activation, it may push 3 in any direction.
So as long as it took an attack, it doesn't even have to hit.
Yeah.
It could charge and then push 3 at the end.
Yeah. And mythridization? Mythridization? It's a really weird word.
Mythridization.
Mythridization.
It's a poison thing.
Okay, when this model would suffer damage due to poison condition, instead heal 1 damage.
I'm sure it's a biology thing about being immune to poison.
Yeah. Barbed Tail. It's melee 5 with a crow built in. It's range 2. Target suffers 1, 3, 4 damage and gains poison 1. And then Corrosive Toxins. When damaging the target, this attack deals +1 damage if the target had the poison condition when it was selected as a target. So +1 damage.
So it's kind of weird. They work best in packs or with the new Scorpius.
Yeah.
Because if they're already or here, the other is Spit Venom.
Spit Venom
Also gives out, although actually it's funny, it has Infect but not built in.
Yeah. So it's really weird.
So, but yes, their first attack is going to do pretty low damage.
Yeah.
But it will poison them, and the next attack can do more
poison,
damage.
Yeah, it's the damage spread would tend to say would change to 2, 4, 5.
And on a 5-point minion, that's not bad.
That's about the same as Illuminated. That's Illuminated damage.
Except
spread.
then Illuminated get their own bonus.
Yeah, yeah.
If they're, but yes, so
2, 4, 5 if they're poisoned.
And so the corrosive toxin to get that poison, that boost, is a trigger that's built in.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's kind of weird. Spit Venom is almost better, but not.
Yeah. So target suffers 1, 3, 4 damage. Infects. After sticking, target gains the poison 1 condition. A number of times equal to the number of crows, which it has. It doesn't have it built in.
So it shoots 6 without it built in.
Yeah.
So the shooting is better than the melee. It'll hit more often.
Yes.
But then it doesn't even have the poison built in.
That's weird.
Yeah. Like honestly, I don't know what
I bet you that's probably like there was something with playtesting, where I bet you it initially had the crow built in and like getting 2 poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Karite's Blessing.
So 0 action.
0 action. This model gains the following condition until end of turn. Karite's Blessing. Other models with the poison condition that begin their activation within 4 of 1 or more models with this condition immediately suffer 1 damage from the poison condition and then lower their poison condition value by 1.
So he does the thing where you immediately take a poison damage.
So it's not at the end. Okay.
And actually, the funny thing is, if you're immune to poison, that still goes off.
Yes. So Shenlong Cruise.
This will still the poison gaming can force you to tick down your poison. Same with like all of the other brewy stuff, all the Tri-Chi stuff in there.
That forces you
giving
to
themselves
tick it down.
poison.
Yeah.
So he will, force it down. Yeah.
And then Casey, I'll let you take the newest edition.
I'm not quite sure what to do with these guys, but they look very interesting.
Yeah, 8 soulstones though.
Yeah, they are Shastir Vidyagard, Enforcer, Living, Imminous U Academic, and 8 soulstones. Defense 6, Willpower 6. 8 wounds, walk of 5, charge 6, height 2. So, a decent stat line, quick enough, not a huge charge. So they have Know the Warrior. Once per turn, when this model cheats fate during a defense duel, draw a card after the current action is resolved. So they have a incentive to cheat fate during their defense duel, which you could cheat to miss and then you replenish a card.
Which is it's
Yep. Know the Weapon. At the start of this model's activation, it may discard a card to gain focus +1. So they can give themselves free focus.
Okay.
And then they have Hard to Kill. So, 8 wounds, hard to kill, means that min damage 4 takes an extra shot to kill them. Even min damage 3 is going to take 4 instead of 3 shots. So, the usual for hard to kill. Tin Fist Longsword. I don't know exactly what that is. That might be a specific type of weapon.
It's a weapon from. Oh God, I'm not trying to remember what they were. They're based on an Indian. It's a warrior culture, and like a lot of the weapons.
Yeah, they've showed
like
a whole
chakras and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's melee 6 with a defense. Range 2, target suffers 2, 4, 6. Again, there's that Misaki damage spread.
Yep.
Of course, you really need focus or recall training to make it shine, but
that focus though, oh my god, that.
You do get 1 free. However, they have some really neat triggers. None of them are built in, but they have 1 for every suit. On a mask, you get Bird Style. After damaging, take the Chakram attack against the target. So you immediately get a free. Snake Style on a Crow. After damaging, you give out Slow. Bull Style on a Ram. Damage from this attack may not be reduced. So, ignoring armor and the like. And then Wild Boar Style on a Tome. While damaging, the flip gains a positive twist. That's pretty strong.
Wow, with that damage spread too.
But none of them are built in. So, which one you get is either completely random or has to be cheated. Then they have the Chakram attack. So this is a range attack. Yep.
Which people that don't know what chakrams are, they're like these. Anybody watch Xena?
Yes.
That was her weapon. Actually, some people don't.
The chakram.
That's actually pretty old for us, so people might not know what Xena was.
Or if some people just didn't watch
Think of it, it's like it's a circular
disc. So it
is sharpened along the edges, and you
Yeah.
throw it like kind of like a frisbee.
It's a disc that's hollow in the middle, so it's a ring.
Yeah.
Right.
And you throw it kind of like a frisbee.
And the idea is that it will. It's kind of like a boomerang where it's supposed to hit and come back.
Yeah.
I have no idea how practical that ever was, but Malifaux is fine with doing the things that are a little more out there.
But there are some historical. There was an actual weapon used.
Yes. And so. So shooting 6 with the trigger built in on a mask, range 10, the target suffers 1/2/2. So it's not very much damage. But Bird Style gives you a free chakram attack, and the chakram itself has the trigger, Ouroboros. After damaging, take the action again against an enemy within 2 in line of sight that was not already targeted by this action during this activation.
So in theory, like you can, let's say you're playing against Ramos, and you're like, okay, there's 3 spiders.
You
1,
can hit
2,
all of them with a chakram.
Yes.
Now, however, it's the entire activation. They can never be hit more than once.
Yes.
The only way to hit them more than once is to take the action multiple times. But right, so let's just say you were to do something along the lines of charging a spider or a mindless zombie or something. Right, you take the longsword, then you get the free chakram. The chakram hits a couple things. Now you get a new longsword.
Oh, 2 minutes. All right, let's do it. So yeah, sorry guys. The camera died, but we're back.
Yep.
So we'll just do our closing thoughts about the Video Guard. The Video Guard, it's really hard for 8 soulstones. You were paying, like you mentioned, gunsmiths.
Right, gunsmiths are 7.
Yeah.
Now they're more shooting, and they're just very, very interesting to see how they'll actually.
I'm trying to. Where would you fit
off.
them in? It's really, like they're not bad minions. He's really, for 8 souls, it costs as much as Cassandra. I love how we're comparing Cassandra to
They are the same cost.
Yeah.
So that's where.
But he's not. He has, like you said, he has the Misaki attack stat line, 2/4/6. He has a built-in free focus to discard a card to get a focus.
And on a tome, he gets a positive on the flip, which can let you cheat that severe damage.
The severe damage 6 is pretty good. I'm just trying to think of like you're the Arcanist player, but from a 10 Thunders perspective, 8 Soulstones, that's a lot you're paying for.
So he's an enforcer, so they can take upgrades. So he can potentially benefit 1 turn from something like imbued energies.
Focus attack.
Yeah. Free focus, make your attack, and then focus and attack. He can carry a lot of the new upgrades. It is tough. The fact that he's an academic means he has some synergy with the Oxfordian mages. He would make a very interesting bodyguard / babysitter, but you're paying 8 points.
Yeah.
And at that
for
point,
a babysitter model, where
at that point
I think
you
Gaiman
could get
do just as good babies.
You could get Kudra for 1 less, or Amina for 1 more, and they're both academics.
Yeah, and Amina's so good. You know.
She has a lot of her own tricks. Yeah, not as much damage as the Video Guard, but other tricks.
But yeah, I think it's back to the moment the Video Guard is not bad. It's not a bad model, but there's so many other options. There's nothing really making him stand out to choose other options.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see what pans out.
Like maybe we're missing something. Maybe there's something that's out there that the Video Guard is just gonna be like, wow, like it's gonna make this so much kick ass. But it's an okay option. Now we're gonna go into some of the new upgrades.
Some new upgrades. We talked about some of these. So here, you like Circus Bear.
Okay. Yes.
I'll talk about temporary shielding.
Circus Bear. All right. So the Slate Ridge Mauler may attach this upgrade as if it were an enforcer.
Because they're minions, so they can't normally get an upgrade.
This model's walk gets +1 to its walk and +1 to its melee.
And it is a 0 upgrade.
It's a 0 upgrade, so you don't pay anything for it. This model gains the following tactical action. Dance, Boris! It's a casting of 5. You need a target number of 13, so you need an 8. Push this model up to 2 in any direction. And then with the mask trigger, wave to the people, Boris. After succeeding, take a different 0 action. Which I don't know the Slate Ridge Mauler.
The Slate Ridge Mauler has a 0 action built into it.
Mm-hmm.
So the Slate Ridge Mauler is normally melee 5.
Yes.
That's why it's getting +1 melee to make it 6.
Which is a lot. The jump up from melee 5 to 6 is really big.
And from walk 4 to walk 5, a lot of models getting that +1 walk. Mm-hmm. So his built-in one is Bear Hug. Target gains slow condition and is pushed into base contact with this model.
Oh, okay.
So if you get the mask, not only can you push 2, you can then Bear Hug somebody.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then the Bear Hug has its own bloody mess that lets you take its 1 attack action with crushing claws.
Oh, so in theory you can get up to 3 attacks.
Right, Bear Hug can trigger a 3rd attack.
Oh, okay. So Casey, does this make the Slate Ridge Mauler a better option for?
Oh, I mean, being able that walk and that walk and push and melee. The melee, I think, is the big thing because the Slate Ridge Mauler was always for 8 soul stones. You get 10 wounds, impossible to wound, hard to kill, and bear skin armor to be immune to pulse and blast. Yeah. Like, whoa, he's pretty good, and he even has self heal on his attack.
Yeah,
tear off a bite. So he's always been durable, but the problem was he just wasn't up to. Like for example, he heals from his attack, but his attack is melee 5. So if he can't hit you, he can't heal.
Yeah.
So I think yes, I think we're definitely going to see more of them. They're a lot more viable. Temporary shielding is my favorite.
So the Ox 40. I'll give that to you, Casey, because you were excited about that one.
And I've used this once so far, and it's amazing. So this upgrade does not count against the maximum number of upgrades. Okay. And it's limited to the Oxfordian mages, but no rarity. So you can have any number of temporary shielding, but you can only have 3 mages, so... Strength in Unity. This crew contains 3 or more Oxfordian mages. Reduce this model's cost by 5 for hiring purposes. So you throw this on all 3 of your Oxfordian mages, and if you take all 3 of them, they cost 5 apiece instead of 6. Then temporary shielding. When this model suffers damage, it may discard this upgrade and 1 card to reduce the damage by 2.
So, do you think Sandeep is going to, if he's going to take academics?
Well, okay, so not even looking at Sandeep, looking at just Oxfordian mages. So, even if you just take 1 to have that furious casting guy, temporary shielding will give you, basically 2 extra wounds for free. Yeah. You discard a card in the upgrade. Then there's almost no justification now for taking only 2 Oxfordian mages. Because if you take 2, the 3rd one will basically only cost you, it goes from 18 to 5.
So you're saving 3 stones.
Yeah, it'll only cost you 3 stones. The 3rd Oxfordian mages only cost you 3 stones. So if you already have 2, you may as well grab the 3rd. And
Oxfordian mages are pretty good models.
I like them as was. I would take 3 of them and pay the 18 points instead of the new 15.
And also their zeros are really nice. And you can attach them to your master, right?
No, so they get their 0 upgrades. Then
these don't count against them.
Right. So they're still taking their original upgrades and now temporary shielding. What it is, their personal upgrades, there's a different upgrade that can be taken by henchmen or Ironsides. And it gives that model counterspell plus another bonus based on what the mages have.
Oh, okay.
And so having more mages gives more bonus for that warding runes.
Alright.
And then we've got a couple new general upgrades. My favorite here is Blade and Claw.
Blade and Claw. So what's Blade and Claw do?
So it can be taken by any model. It's just rare 1. 0 action, Blade and Claw. Casting 6, target number 13, so you need a 7. Range 8. Target a friendly, non-master, non-peon beast. Alright, so targeting a beast. Place a ski marker.
Okay. Yeah,
you remember. Place a ski marker in base contact with the target. Then place the target in base contact with a non-master, non-peon construct within 8 inches in line of sight with this model. So you place a scheme marker next to the beast, then the beast goes to the construct, and now the construct is placed in base contact with that scheme marker. And then you discard the scheme marker.
Yeah.
This action may only be taken if there is a friendly beast and a friendly construct within range and line of sight. This action may not be taken during the first turn of the game. So you can't do this teleport turn 1.
You can't do this Langston with Langston, like slingshot Langston.
Turn 1.
Turn 1. Yeah.
You can do turn 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so okay. So this encourages you to have beasts and constructs, and it doesn't work with peons. So the Malifaux is a peon.
Yeah.
So the stupid bird can't be a target. And it
the
doesn't
bird.
work with masters, so Marcus and all of the various masters.
Mm-hmm.
However, you can, if you...
Spiders, Gaiman...
Well, like, right, think about using steam arachnids and slingshotting whatever beast you want up into where the steam arachnid was. And, now going back to the stupid bird, for 3 points, the stupid bird can make any model a beast for the rest of the game with its claw attack.
Yep.
So it could spend the first
I
turn...
love how the Arcanist player is calling the Malifaux a stupid bird. It's good.
What?
It's really good.
Well, the more Futurama references we can jam in here, the better. Stupid bird! So you have the Malifaux. It claws at Howard Langston's or Joss's eyes, turns him into a beast, and does
one damage,
one
yeah.
damage.
Woo!
Even if it gets moderate, that's like 2 reduced by armor.
Yeah.
So you hurt him a little, make him a beast for the rest of the game. Now suddenly Ramos's spiders are the constructs to your beasts in the form of your big models.
Yeah.
And you still have a stupid bird to contest and do his stupid bird tricks. And so suddenly, and the funny thing is, Blade and Claw, it's a tactical action, which means whoever's holding Blade and Claw could target themselves as one of the potential targets, as long as they are not a
I'm
master
thinking
or a
that
peon.
like, this one would probably be... I'm trying to think who would take it.
Now, a lot of people want to put imbued energies on Howard Langston for fast, but he would be a good target for Blade and Claw. He has no 0 actions. So this new 0 action...
Well, he does have the Steam Cloud.
That's a 1 action.
Oh, wow, it's a 1 action?
That's why you never see me take it.
Yeah.
Like, unless I'm walking forward and then steam clouding, like, it's never taken unless I'm... Yeah, unless I can't make
There's
combat
no...
anyway.
Yeah, there's no...
So, what it is, you could take Blade and Claw on Langston. Langston could either then nimble out of cover to see the spider he wants to teleport to, or if he already sees a spider, he could teleport it to it and then nimble into his real target.
And then flurry.
Hell, he could always do the crazy slingshot where he goes to the furthest spider he can get to, he nimbles and charges to get as far as possible.
Oh, hey, Sonia, how you
It gives
all the
him-
way across the board?
Right, just shove yourself down her throat, turn 1. Or actually, can't be turn 1, turn 2.
Turn 2.
Just hide turn 1.
All you need to do is give him reactivate with the brass arachnid and
He's already so strong.
Yeah.
But of course, if they see that coming, they are going to do everything they can to limit your slingshot.
It's very similar to like the Masaki slingshot. You're
force them where they have to put it somewhere that you want them to slingshot to. Yeah. And okay, then well rehearsed is another. So it has to be taken by an enforcer, rare 1.
So well rehearsed. When a scheme marker is placed within 3 of this model may push up to 2 in any direction. The last number, when a friendly living model within 3 is killed, you may discard this upgrade. If you do, the model is not killed and heals 1 damage.
Yeah. So.
What's her
very
face
interesting.
might like this a lot. The other showgirl.
Right. Angelica.
She's 6 soul stones.
Yep.
So she becomes 7.
Even potentially the Vidya Guard. They're enforcers.
I think true.
They're enforcers, which means they can take well rehearsed.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of it. Is there any other enforcers that? I mean, you're not going to give this to Langston. You're not going to give this to. any. Like,
yeah, probably not Langston.
You're not gonna give it to
not Duxfordian mages.
Saber-tooth Cerberus.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like this seems more of a angelic. I'm trying to think. There's no other enforcers I can think of from.
There's not a whole lot.
Do you know? Yeah.
Like that's why Vidya Guard popped to mind so much because they're an enforcer that likes to stick around some other models and might be able to very well save them by using last number.
Yeah, there's no other ones I'm thinking of right now. Alright, so I think, did we hit all the upgrades? Are we missing something?
I think, yep, that's all of the upgrades.
Then we get to Neverborn.
Neverborn up next.
So we'll do our finishing thoughts.
Yeah.
A lot of really good stuff. There's some stuff that's a little, like the Video Guard. It's probably the least, like there's the least obvious model. You know.
Yeah. Everyone else has what they do. The Poison Gaiman is a 5-point Gaiman. It's the most expensive that's not a totem.
Yeah.
And it's something that Sadir can summon. My problem is, it doesn't look that much better than the other Gaiman for one extra point.
I think, yeah.
Like, technically, its shooting attack is the best shooting attack a Gaiman has. Because no other Gaiman have a shooting, or for that matter, a melee of 6. They're all 5 or less.
Yeah.
So the fact that the Poison Gaiman, but it's the fact that we already have Ice Gaiman and Fire Gaiman, and even Wind Gaiman. They all have 5 wounds and armor 1. Now this guy's 1 more point, and what does he have? 5 wounds and armor 1. He's just as killable as any of the rest of the Gaiman.
But then he does have his shooting, though.
His shooting is the only thing that is pretty decent.
But then like, the Metal Gaiman. Oh, I just like Metal Gaiman so much.
I mean, even Fire Gaiman have a decent shooting. They've got to shoot 5 on their spit lava thing. Bleh.
And then Carlos Vasquez, really cool. He's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I have all of the showgirls, so I'm gonna add Carlos just to keep the collection full. I don't know exactly how often he'll show up, but he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anna, I like Anna a lot. She is.
Yeah.
She is a really good support piece. Kudra, in a.
Sandeep.
In a Zandeep crew, I think she might be in almost every Sandeep crew. Yeah. But in terms of other Arcanists, I don't see her being taken by other Arcanist masters or other Arcanist crews.
Yeah. And so we talked about in some of the others about the masters filling in gaps, and I'd say that's like a big thing with Sandeep is that like the Arcanists as it is, they have almost everybody they have is a is very focused. They do one thing really well, possibly the best in the game in some cases.
Yeah.
But they don't have any really good generalists, and that's what Sandeep is.
Yeah.
Is he's a generalist. Do you need him to do some damage? He can do that. He has all these things to support his crew. He can achieve. He has ways to achieve almost every single scheme in the game.
Yeah.
Scheme and strategy.
So if you're looking for a very versatile, like we stated earlier, very McCabe-esque.
Yeah.
There's nothing that he is bad at.
And so
but he won't excel at certain this is a very killy scheme. All right, I'm going to bring Rasputina because I need to kill a bunch of shit.
Right. Or if the entire pool is killy.
Yeah, or I need to flood the field. I want to control table cores. All right, Ramos is your best choice.
Ramos is.
But if you have a very mixed scheme pool.
Right. Or you just need to throw your opponent for a loop where they can't predict.
Yeah, because most people are like,
he's
okay,
a lot less predictable than some of the others. Like
Ramos,
I'm going to summon the swarm and I'm either going to electrical fire or repair stuff.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to throw out my arcing shield. Whatever combination of upgrades you chose.
Like all the other various masters are very predictable. They are going to do this, and your opponent knows that they're going to do this. With Sandeep, you don't know what he's going to do because of all the upgrade options.
He has so many options that I'd say the only one that's predictable is probably the academic list, and even it's not as predictable as some lists.
Yeah, and also the ability to take his actions and you don't know where models are going to be because of all these the ability of other models to take his actions. He is you will surprise your opponent even if opponent knows about Sandeep. You will surprise your opponent with some of the stuff you could do.
And that's what I come across when you have McCabe.
Yeah, all right. It's
oh yeah, I could survive this model. I just gave it my sword off.
Yeah. Oh, and I accomplished something. Yeah. But overall, I think. So do you think Sandeep has a chance to be a top tier master?
He definitely, as far as in the Arcanists, jumps up above a couple. I think, he's got a really good place in the Arcanists. I don't know exactly what his showings will be, but he's definitely strong. He's strong.
Yeah.
The big thing is, like Arcanists always have, they usually have to switch their masters up a lot. So if you're ever forced to take a single master, boom, that's the guy.
Yes, if you're playing fixed master, perfect.
Otherwise, I think having Sandeep and Ramos in your pocket would probably let you take on anything you needed. And of course, there's always
Yeah. Well, like
so he's definitely going to be up there. We're going to see a lot of Sandeep play.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we hit all the points. We're gonna probably try to transition into Neverborn next.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys.